Okay. Hey, they worked at the same time. It's a miracle.
Yay.
It is a miracle. It's going to be a great day. That's like when you get valet parking. You go up and you're like, oh, I got the best spot in the house where I parked today. I call it valet. When I was in Finland, they called it pole position. Do you know what pole position is?
Front in a race, right?
Yeah, good job. How did you know that? I was like, oh, like the video game? And they were like, no, pole position. So exciting stuff.
Yeah.
We're so excited. So today we are talking about fall trends. So I want to show you a little trick. So the fall trend we've noticed is everything down. Everything. It's all down, 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 down. But what if you feel like doing something different? Well, you can wear your hair down, but guess what? You can trick everybody. Should we turn and show them? Look. Oh, did we trick you? Did you know that we had updos in the back? So we thought it'd be cool to show you different ways to do tricky updos that make you feel like, you know, I feel like I never ever do anything with my hair because it's always down. So I like that we had this like little variation so that we could show you how to do quick like different styles that still look like on trend with fall, but still give you a little kick of something different. So, yeah, what do you think? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna take mine out. Should we take them out?
Let's take them out.
Let's race. I bet you she's gonna win because I only put 2 bobby pins in.
Yeah.
How many did you put in?
You probably have like 4 in there.
Do I?
You have a lot more hair than I do.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. So we're gonna take them down. Probably takes almost as much time to take them down as it does to, what? No, it doesn't take as much time. So what should we tell them about our presents today?
Yes. So today we are giving away, these are the products that you can use to help you with your styles, whether you're curling it, flat ironing it, putting it up, and this hairspray is nice and brushable. It'll hold your style for days. The Upstaged will protect your hair from the heat and add some shine and body and help your curls last. So
yeah,
we're gonna give away those, and also, of course, just in design.
Yeah, always the iron for the day. Okay, so we are excited. If you guys have anything that you've seen that you're like, okay, I'm having trouble learning this, just let us know, because if we have time, we'll try and squeeze that in. And then we'll see if we have time to teach braiding, because I know people wanted to know about braiding. Okay, so we are really, okay, so I do have one question before we get into these what should we call them? The non-dos. They're like the non-dos, the non-updos. They're like an updo, but it's not really, it just looks, it's tricky. The tricky do's? I don't know. We're gonna come up with the name. We haven't come up with it yet. So if you guys have any good names, please let us know. As always, we love your comments. That's, oh, in case anybody needs to know, how do you win the presents? You comment, answer, and share.
Comment,
Okay.
like, share.
Yeah.
Share publicly.
So I realized we haven't done ching in forever.
Yeah,
Forever and
ching,
ever.
ching.
So that's our little, you know, I don't know. That's our favorite, ching, but we haven't done it in a while. Okay, so let's see, what else? There was one more thing I wanted to talk about before we get started, but I can't remember what it is, so I'm sure it'll come to me later.
Yes, braiding, I see a lot of
Braiding, okay, so people want to know braiding. Okay, so we can show something in braiding, easy. So I'll show you the quick knot, and this is an ode to Genevieve, one of our virtual stylists. She showed me this knot trick that she does all the time, and I wanted to thank her because I'm going to show you how to do it on Jenny today. So it's pretty easy, and I think it can be executed in about 2 minutes. But we'll see if maybe when I'm teaching it, it takes a little longer. We'll have to see. Okay. Move the chairs, and okay. So the whole trick is, I think we're going to pull you, hop up real quick. I'll put you there. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so the whole trick is to having it like be an updo without looking like an updo from the front, is pulling up the right portion. So I'm going to show you with Jenny. I'm going to turn you around. So when you take the portion, when I take it, you shouldn't be able to see the difference in the front. So when you're in the mirror, right, you're just going to want to take what doesn't affect your front style. So I'm just going to take that little portion so you can see how I parted it. And then if I pull this back, it doesn't really affect her front face frame area, okay? So I'll show you what I pulled up. So I just have these 2 little sections right here. And I think to make this look really work, you want this middle section to just stay laying. you don't want to try and split that up too. So you're just taking these two little sections and that's it. And then you just kind of smooth them into the angle you're going to put them into. And then you're going to do this really tricky thing that you learned in preschool, which is start the tying of your shoe like that. And then you tie it again. So we're just tying a knot basically. Now you can pull it tighter like that so that you have time to grab your bobby pins or whatever, or you can leave it looser. It's up to you. You'll master it quickly, I'm sure. You just have to try it a couple different ways. And that's it. So you take that and then you hold it in place. And then you find what you want it to look like. I mean, there are so many different ways to place your bobby pins within this that will make it look very different. So this time I'm placing the bobby pins on the bottom to kind of tighten the bottom part. And at first this won't look great. I have to get the bobby pins in together and make sure they cross or something so that I can get it in place. And that's it. So there's a quick little knotted tie. And you could, there's many different things you could do. You could place this up under, you can come back through with this end. There's a lot of different things you can do with the end, but I like these hanging loose, and it's just a matter of getting them in the right spot so that they look cute and not like that, right? So you want to make sure that your bobby pin doesn't put them into a place where you don't want it. So I'm going to replace my bobby pin there. Do you see how when I came in from underneath it kind of angled it down? But if the bobby pin is up here, it's going to make it wing up to the top. And that's it, just a cute little knot, and you can pull it apart more if you want. There's lots of different ways to do this knot. So you can make it more loose. There's lots of different things you can do, and then you just might have to adjust your bobby pin. Okay, Tammy, are you seeing any questions about this one?
We have a couple questions.
Okay.
See, Jenny, do you braid all your girls' hair?
Occasionally, yes.
Yes. There's definitely
Yes,
an occasion for
Yeah.
everybody to have braids in her family. Okay. I love that.
And it shows, can you show a close-up on how you put the bobby pin in so it stays without having to use multiple bobby pins?
Okay. So the key with bobby pins is when you put them in to try and cross them in any way, shape, or form. If they can cross, it gives more security. So my goal is to not open the bobby pin, because when you don't want a bobby pin to show, you just stick it in. When you want the bobby pin to show, you open it up, okay? So if you put the hair in the open bobby pin, the bobby pin will show. If I just want the bobby pin to go away, I just kind of stick it in. So what you do is pick the piece of hair that you need for it to grasp and just push it in through and try and hide it, right? Like I'm angling it down so that it's hiding in through here. It's a little trickier when it's on yourself, but you can always check. Just kind of feel where the bulk of the hair is and try and put your bobby pin in that bulk of the hair. And then you can just find what holds, and then give your head a little shake, and that's when you know it's gonna stay, right? I feel like the minute you shake your head, you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna stay, or oh no, it isn't. So yeah, I love this style. I think it's a really quick do, and I don't know anybody that can't tie a knot. I mean, like, anybody can do this hairstyle, and I love it, and I thank Genevieve for coming up with this great idea. So knots are all the rage right now, I think. Don't you think?
Yes.
Like, everything we do when there's a knot involved, I think it looks great.
Yep.
So that's how we did it.
How do you get a puff of volume to stay on that look that you have right there? Like, have her puff it up.
Yep. So the first thing I would do is start with Upstaged, because Upstaged will help build the volume in the hair. Do you have Upstaged in today, Jenny?
Yes.
I don't know why I even asked, because Jenny puts it in every time she
I'm
blows
obsessed
her
with
hair.
Upstaged.
Yeah, because she likes the volume, and her hair doesn't hold as well without Upstaged, correct?
It's too slippery.
Yeah, too slippery. Thank you, that's what I'm looking for. So then a simple thing you can do, so because this center section isn't tied down to anything, you can easily just pull that up, and it will instantly give lift, okay? So these pieces will be a little more tricky because they're tied into the style, but this being left hanging is easy to pull up. Let's see how that did. Yeah, that gave a nice poof. And not too much where you're
right.
what's the word I'm looking for, 60s or 50s?
Marge
fonts?
Simpson or
Definitely not Marge Simpson. I don't know how we get there.
No.
That's the old bottle trick. Okay.
Yeah.
So I love this style. I think anybody can get away with this. Like Jenny's length, my length. I think there's many
Right.
ways that knots can come into play. Okay. So thanks, Jenny. And then I guess I'll give you this chair so you can work right here or whatever you want to do. I don't want to hit you in the face with my elbow when I'm trying to do mine. Okay. So Jenny's right by here and she's going to probably help me because since I don't have a mirror in here, as you can tell behind me, and you guys are my mirror in front, so you have to let me know how I did. Okay, so for my updo, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to search for a piece that just hides but doesn't take away from my face frame. So for my style, I'm taking the whole, am I centered and everything, Jenny?
You're good, yeah.
Okay, so for my style, I'm taking the whole piece, whereas with Jenny's, I just took these outside pieces. For mine, we're taking the whole piece up. Okay, so for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to do a twist. And to do the twist, you just split it in half and you start twisting both pieces the same way. And then when you twist them together, you twist them together the opposite way. So you just twist and add, or cross. Okay, and that's how you get a twist to get formed. This is where I run into trouble is when I'm switching. Okay, hopefully that worked. And then you just keep twisting and twisting together the opposite way. Okay, so once you get there, oh thanks, it's handy. I'm not used to that. Okay, so then once you get there, you just pin it, or I'm sorry, rubber band it. I like rubber banding, when I'm working on myself, I like rubber banding this piece so that you, I like rubber banding this piece so that you don't lose the grip of it when you want to loosen it. So the next thing we want to do is really pull these and loosen it. I want this to be a very loose style. I don't like things perfect right now. I like them perfectly undone. So we're just going to loosen. And don't worry about over loosening this because you're just going to put it into a bun after. So the trick to loosening is to not grab the whole section. See, if I pull this whole section, I don't get much. But if I pull a portion of it, you know, what you usually don't want to do when you're doing a hairstyle is just pull a portion of it. But when you're loosening any braid or any twist, you want to pull just segments of it, not the whole entire thing. Okay, and so once you get that nice and loose, what we're going to do is just twist into place. So I'll twist around, and then you just want to kind of feel it so that you get some kind of bun shape. And then, can I have a couple bobby pins, Jen? Okay, so what I want to do is feel where it's most likely going to give out. So where mine's going to give out is where this end comes in. So one of the first things I want to do is get that end piece pinned in. That's what gives it its support. So wherever your ending pieces is what you want to pin first. And then I like to kind of place bobby pins in wherever I feel like it feels loose. So this feels loose, this feels tight because I just placed a bobby pin here. So now I want a bobby pin in here. But in order to not make it too flat, I don't want to like wrap it all and pin it down. I want to find a piece that could make it more poofy and push in there. So hopefully that made it more poofy than more flat. Okay, and then what? Do I need to undo it a little bit more? What do we think? Oh, I need a bobby pin.
You mean a bobby pin over there, that
Yeah.
side.
So this is going to be
Other
tricky.
than that, it's looking good.
Okay.
And Jacinda, do you use Upstage on days that you don't wash your hair? They want to know. Do you still put it in?
I do not. Do you, Jenny?
No,
No.
just the days I blow dry it.
Yeah, same here. Because the whole point of Upstage is that it will help your hair hold and have more volume as you're wearing your hair for the next couple days. So what I love about this style is that you don't really, I feel cuter because I feel like I did something with my hair as opposed to what I usually do, which is not much. But I love that I still have that down look, which is what I think is very in right now. So I still feel like I'm in style, but have a twist on just wearing my hair down. So I literally have a twist on.
You do have a twist
I do have a twist on. So I hope that turned out good. I can't really see it, but we'll hope. Maybe I'll turn around and then I can watch Jenny's computer after to see if there's any tweaks I need. Does anybody see tweaks that they need?
It's pretty good. There's a question about, can you back comb your hair before you do a knot?
Yeah, absolutely you can. I mean, follow your excitement on it. If you feel like your hair needs more padding to it or more, cushion, more bulk, those are all kind of the same thing in the hair world. Padding is the same thing as bulk. So if you back comb your hair, you're creating padding in it. What I want you to know is how to create padding. Can I see that, the brush, please? So when you create padding, so like if I wanted this to like stay in place right here, the way I would create padding is I would take a part of it and then I just barely back comb all the way through. So that's what we call padding in the hair world. So that, see, it just gives it that more of a soft, cushiony look. It doesn't look teased like hardcore teasing would, right? So hardcore teasing is more like focused in one area. Hardcore, I don't know if hardcore is right, but you see how it focuses it right here, right? But if I wanted it to be padded all the way down, then I just softly move my brush through and then I create padding so that I have more volume in the whole front area. And then that's where hairspray comes in really handy, because now that I have this more equal, because I have more volume back here, I created a little more volume up here, which I like. This is feeling more like a night out for me now, with more padding in the front. And padding is really important when you don't have a lot of hair to, actually padding is just important in a lot of styles, to be honest, so. Okay, so that's like one of the do's we're loving right now. Do we have any questions about those, Tammy, or is it looking pretty like everyone gets it?
No, everybody's pretty much getting it. The only thing is bobby pins. What's the favorite bobby pins to use?
Oh, favorite bobby pins to use. Oh, anyone that crosses. No. You know what I do like? They come in a pink box, the ones that I always get. And you can get them at both Sally Beauty Supply and at a beauty supply store. The biggest thing for me is that they have weight to them and not too flimsy. When they're really flimsy, like if I could bend this, I think it's a problem. Then it doesn't work as well for me. So just make sure that they have a little bit of substance to them, I guess.
And it's nice when they have the rubber tips on them.
Yeah.
So you don't...
Do some come without a rubber tip?
Yeah. I've had those gouge myself
Really?
before. Yeah, they're not good.
That seems so silly. Okay, and so this is a little trick that we have that I want to recommend to people. So whenever we're doing any of our updos, we put a logo in here. You don't need to do that, but you just grab these little containers. They come from just any Tupperware container, and it's got like 3 slots in it. So we have bigger bobby pins, we have ponytail holders, and then we have smaller bobby pins. So this is a great way when you're going to do a style to just have it. You pull it out of your cabinet, and this is an awesome thing to have. So we have it in blonde, and then we have it in brown. So that way, whenever we're going to, like if I need you to see the bobby pins, then I can pull brown and put it on blonde, or if I have a brunette, then I can do that as well. So it's just good to have around. It's a really easy way to store your stuff. I love this, love this. These are just, I don't know why we have this in. I think for when we do a show, that way people, so it looks cuter. Okay, so braiding. I think we should do some braiding. Okay. So when you're doing braiding, I'm gonna do basics of braiding, and then we'll teach you how to pull the braid apart probably. I think is probably what most people would want, especially for when you're doing your daughter's hair or something. Don't you feel like everybody needs a braid pulled apart right now? But I don't know, French braids are back into tight. Okay, so what you want to do is take 3 equal parts. And when I say 3 equal parts, I mean 3 equal parts all the way down here, not just up here. So if I split this into 3 equal parts, okay, if up here is a little bit thinner and up here is a little bit thicker, because of the length of my hair, how it fades off, that's why I kind of did that on purpose. So it's just important to think of where it's going to be at the bottom if you're working a braid all the way to the bottom. Then from here, there's many different ways to grip a braid, but I'll teach you what is important about braiding is when you're trying to keep it tight, the closer you can hold it to where you're crossing the pieces, the tighter it will stay for you. So if you hold way down here, your braid will be a lot looser. And if I hold, oh, let's see if I can keep my pieces. So if you hold way up here as you cross, your pieces will be, your braid will be a lot tighter. Okay? So the goal is the tighter the braid, the closer you want to braid to it. Okay? And then the further you want it to be, like when you want it to get looser, you can hold further down. Okay. So there's a braid, and all you're doing is crossing the outside piece over the middle and the outside piece over the middle each time. Over the middle, and then you're just going to switch it into the middle. Over, and then you switch it into the middle. Over, and switch it into the middle. And that's how you create a braid. So once you've got a braid in place, the best way to pull a braid apart is to not clip it, rubber band it at the bottom, okay? So if you want to pull it apart, I would pull apart before, especially when you're working in the front. In the back, it's a little bit trickier, so I'll let you be the judge of your control of it. But when you have it not rubber banded at the bottom, I'm struggling with rubber banding today for some reason. Okay, when you have it not tied off at the bottom, then you're going to be able to pull this easier. If I was to clamp it at the bottom really tight, it's harder to pull through, see? So I just have to hold it loosely and then let it work its way up. And usually I think it's better to loosen from the bottom and then work your way up to the top on a braid. So that's how you loosen a braid. And then from there, there's so many things you can do, right? You could just bring this back into a hairstyle. You can cross it up over for a headband, depending on where you started it. Like if I started it down lower, that would be, you know, a viable option. You could just let it hang down. When you're letting them hang down right now, I think a key thing is to make your braid more messy. Don't make it perfect. So if I wanted to, I could just switch into a fishtail by merging these pieces together and then starting to fishtail braid, which is 2 pieces. So you can easily change from a braid into a fishtail just by merging pieces together. So I'll show you how that looks in a second. That's one of my favorite things to do. Even on a little girl's ponytail, to change from a regular braid into a fishtail is really fun. And it looks really cute. I'll show you. Hopefully it'll look cute. On me. At least you'll get the gist of it. So you can see how that braid has changed. And I love that because it looks like, you know, you didn't really mess up, but I think it takes real skill to be able to change up a braid and make it look right. Mm-hmm. So make sure your portions are, I don't know, appropriate. Yeah, I don't like to put black and white on things. Like, don't make sure, you know, like 1/3, 2/3. I'm not a rule abider like that, because I feel like as long as you do it right, it can look good.
Do you have any tips on braiding layered hair? Because they're saying that I always see pieces
sticking out. And yeah, and I think embrace those. So do your best to, you know, when you are splitting the parts of a braid, just make sure the layers are evenly distributed within your braid pieces like I did up here. So you want to make sure that your length at the bottom feels substantial equal, not substantial. Okay, so like you want it to make sure it's equal. So.
And I think it's easier on, you know, 2nd or 3rd day hair or curled hair because it lays down easier that way too. The layers do.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, how do you fishtail? Someone's wanting to see that.
That is fishtailing. So that's what I was doing at the bottom. So fishtail is just 2 pieces And when you have two pieces, so if we have two equal pieces over here, all I'm going to do is take a little portion of it and I'm going to cross it over. So you want the little portion to come from the outside of the two pieces and just cross it to the other side. And then put it in towards the center of each time you cross. Like I don't want to put this up here because then I'm going to try and pull it the next time. So you want to put it down there and just cross over. And that's how you fishtail. And this more intricate you want the fishtail to look, the smaller the pieces are that you take. If I take big pieces in this fishtail, then it's going to look more like a braid and less like a fishtail. So you can do whatever you want, just know which one you want to do. Okay, so that's what a fishtail looks like. All right. So, all right.
And what's the easiest way to French braid?
Easiest way to French braid on yourself or someone else, I wonder? The easiest way to French braid.
They must mean on themselves.
Okay, so when you're French braiding on yourself, let me think of, usually you're in the back here to do it, right? I mean, do you want, well, I guess you do French braids up at the front.
Yeah, add it in.
So the easiest thing to start out a French braid is to make sure you start with 3 pieces, okay? And then you want to cross twice and then start adding in. So now I will add in, otherwise your first piece looks just bigger. You know what I mean? So if you haven't crossed, then you're not going to make any difference. It's just like taking a bigger piece. So then you can add in, each time you cross to the middle, you just add more hair in. And that's it. And so when you're French braiding, you want to, if you want your braid loose, you pull out farther from the head. If you want it tight, you can be in closer to the head. Okay? And closer you are to the braid again, where the crossing pieces are, is the tighter your braid will be. And so that's how you French braid on yourself. I'm running out of hair here. Okay. And then when you break away from the head, if you hold out like this, is how you get that gap, like that, you know? You see that in the back. So just make sure you hold it close to the head as you finish out the braid, so the braid lays flat. Because where you braid is where it stays. So if you lift up out, it's going to see how it lifts everything and it pulls out, and then I'm going to have a loose piece. But if I braid down like this, then it's going to be closer and lay flatter. So you just have to know what you want the braid to do. So where you braid is where it stays. All right. Any more questions, Danny?
I just don't know, how long did it take you to get so good at styling your own hair?
My whole life. I had to learn that stuff in 4th grade. I remember learning to French braid in the bathroom, and I was like trying to learn in 4th grade. And I remember, yeah. It's just when you deal with horsehair, you have to get good at it. Otherwise, you look like a horse all the time. I don't know if I look like a horse. Come back over here, and so if they have any more questions. I don't know. It just, you know, it's just one of those things. But it's a lifetime of learning, really. Like, you know, you learn different things all the way through.
Practice.
Mm-hmm. I learned different stages. Like I learned braiding when I was in 3rd and 4th grade. I learned hair cutting when I was 12 because my brother needed a haircut. And I just started from there. And each stage, like when I started developing shampoo and conditioner, I learned more about, you know, the chemistry side of things. Not a ton. I don't dive really into that because I'm really into the performance. Jenny likes the chemistry side of things. So yeah. So yeah, how about you? When did you get good at hair? When you had 6 kids?
Did my hair my whole life.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember giving my friends perms back in the day when those were in.
I did not give perm.
I had a lot of guinea pig friends.
I remember when they tested me in school for perming, and I was like, I'm not going to do this when I'm out of school. And they were like, yeah, you are. And I'm like, no, I'm really not. I'm not going to do perming. It's tough. It's tough. So.
A lot of questions on Upstage again. How do you spray it? Do you spray it in the back, the front? Do you spray it underneath? And then they're asking as well, can I only order it from the website? Actually on Amazon as well, though.
Okay, yes. So you can order Upstaged from Amazon, but I think it's trickier on Amazon to find us, but timestyle.com is the same thing, and they both ship from us. So we're always taking care of it. Tammy's our head of shipping, so, or part, you know, one part of it, Lynette's the other. So, you know, we're gonna get it to you. Just make sure you order from the right one. Don't order from the fakes, please, people, because I cannot tell you how many people are like, I didn't get my iron. Every day I read it on my watch. I didn't get my iron because they ordered from one of those scam people. So if you order from timestyle.com, you are assured you will get your order and great customer service, period. That's all there is to it. Okay, so when you're spraying in Upstaged or Timeless or anything, any product that you want to get distributed over all of your hair, the goal is to spray with purpose. So spray with purpose, knowing that your spray will disperse as it gets further away, right? So the bigger area you want to cover, the further away you spray. And the more precise you want it, the closer you spray. Or the more like concise, not precise.
Yes.
So more concise you want the spray, the closer you spray to your head. So I'm about this far away when I spray, which is, I don't know, 8 inches? How far? Oh, Jenny likes to spray into her hand and then distribute it.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, spray, Upstaged, push all the way down. Otherwise it spurts funny. So just make sure that you
And
shake it. Shake it fast. But watch yourself.
Because some people were saying they didn't know there was gold glitter in there.
Oh yeah, until you open the bottom and then you're like, whoa, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those glitters, but they're glitter like adult glitter, not like little girl glitter, everybody. You will never know it's there if you don't spray it like, do you even notice it?
No.
I don't either. But it just gives your hair a
Gives
nice
it
healthy
little
shine.
glisten, yeah, like a shine.
Yeah, which is very important, we know, because shiny things are great.
Yes, and it's not the greasy shiny, it's the good shiny.
Yeah, the good shiny. Believe me, she would know because
I
she
don't
would
like
have,
greasy.
yeah, she would have to deal with it because she has fine hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else did they say about Upstaged?
They want to know, do you put it on wet or dry hair?
I'm damp.
Towel dried hair, yep.
Yeah, towel dried. Yep, before you blow dry usually is the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for those of you who are wondering, like, I'm shampooing and I'm still getting like a greasy look at the top. We learned a trick for fine hair. If you blow dry this segment right here and lift it up as you blow dry, it will give you the ability to go longer without shampooing. So you have to master that ability, and I don't want you to like have to work at it like blow drying forever, but just blow dry a little bit there in this area to give it lift, and then you'll be able to go longer for between shampoos, because I think a lot of people are running into that trouble because they just go to bed wet or just go to bed with their hair wet. So yeah. All right, so we get that? Okay. I think that made sense, kind of, a little
Yes.
bit.
They want to know why Jenny sprays it in her hands before putting it in her hair.
It just gives me more control on where I put it, because I like to get it, you know, in at my scalp, but then I also like to run it through my ends like this.
Mm-hmm.
I spray it sometimes, but I really do just like to distribute it with my hands.
Yeah, and so with Jenny, I spray it in her hair, but she just likes that distribution. It's like the difference between how you apply your makeup, right? Some people apply it with their fingers, some people use, you know,
Sponge.
yeah, sponge or those chicken cutlet looking things.
A brush.
Or yes, or a brush.
Nice.
Yes, lots of different options. I need padding in my hair, so I'm going to put padding in real quick again because I like that better. Okay, so what else? Do we have anything else, or are we ready for presents?
And they're asking if any type of paddle brush works for padding your hair.
I would think it's the padding is on the technique of rocking your brush like this. That's pretty much it. So I mean, really, you could use anything. It's just if you're heavy-handed about it or if you're light about it, right? You have to think you're just doing that little flick at the end. You don't want to dig in and really get at it. So I would think I'd be able to do that with almost anything. But
so.
I mean, sometimes it's just learning the trick. I'd like to say, nope, it's only with our brush, but I think you could do it with anything. Our brush is great. Okay. So the reason we're doing Upstaged with the hairspray today is because that's the way you get these kind of styles to stay, is getting the right, you know, foundation and the right finishing. Those kinds of things, because there are hairsprays that will make your hair too silky and don't allow it to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not moldable. So we want to make sure that it can stay in. So that's what we're doing, the beginning and finishing touches for you today, so that you can make these styles stay in really perfectly. One day my son came home and he said, "Mom, I colored my perfectest tweet today. I thought it was so cute. So when I say perfect, it's hard for me to say perfect because I loved how I said that. Okay.
And are the products gluten-free?
They are, I have to check on that. I believe they are gluten-free, but I'll double check on that.
Yeah, maybe we can
I have
have,
a little.
yeah, maybe Jaquel can let us know because she usually can pin it if it's gluten-free or not. Jaquel, if you're listening, let us know. I know we have that answer somewhere if they're gluten-free. That's a tricky one, gluten.
Yes. And how often
like
do
it
you
is.
use timeless? Do you spray that on like every day, or do you do that, you know, if you're going a couple days without washing?
I spray it in if my hair looks fuzzy because my hair, when I take it down from the shower sometimes, like my ends will get a little bit horsehair looking and that's when I'll spray it in. But I mean, once you start using timeless, it's so good for your hair. I feel like I don't even have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I use it just as needed. I mean, sometimes I use it once a week. I don't think I ever use it more than once a week, but
Yeah.
I don't always use it every week. So.
And I do. I probably use it
Yeah.
2 to 3 times a week.
So
And
it just depends.
it depends on your hair type, I
Mhm.
think, and what your hair needs. Mine needs more silkiness. Jenny's needs more grip.
Every time I use it, I'm like, oh.
I know, it's so great. You're like, oh, this is the best ever. And it's not oily or greasy looking. It's so great. All right, so we got our half updos, and do we have presents, or do you have another question, Tammy?
No, I think they're all good.
Okay.
The only question, the products are gluten-free, Jaquel did.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I was like, ooh, I don't want to say that right now for sure. I do have one other thing. So we are thinking about doing makeup tips next week. Oh, you're not going to be here next week, huh? I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. Ooh, we might do makeup tips like 2 weeks from now. So I'm just curious if you guys would think that would be like helpful to you, or do you like the hair tips only? So just, give us a little feedback on if you'd like some makeup tips. We'll, I don't know if I can show up with no makeup on, but maybe we'll do light makeup and then do our best to help with that. And then I don't know if we'll do that in a couple of segments, Jenny. We'll have to kind of think about that. What do you think?
Yeah, let's see what everyone says. Give us your feedback.
Yeah, give us your feedback. What you want to see most. Like maybe we'll do one day doing contouring, one day doing eyes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I could show up with no makeup. It would just be really...
We might scare you guys away.
really detrimental to my...
bring special guests in.
Yeah, special guest. Some young girl that looks great without makeup.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, well, let's get the gifts, should we?
Yes. And I think our team, we still need an iron winner.
Oh, an iron winner? Yes. Don't forget we need an iron winner. Kids out there, everybody.
Well, they would love you to make perfume and lotion next, just so that matches the other products.
Okay, well, we are working on lotion and body wash because I found out in testing body washes, everybody, that, when I thought deodorant, I kept changing deodorants because I didn't like how my deodorants were working, and then I started developing a body wash, and I found out it was the body wash that wasn't working, and I haven't had to change deodorants ever since. And I was like, can you believe that? What a goofy thing. Your body wash. So funny. Of all the things. By golly, that's funny. I'm just kidding. I never use that word. Okay, by golly. I don't know. I was trying to think of not a cuss word. I don't know why, but... All right, by golly gee, what are we going to give away today? Okay.
By golly, we have four winners of the Hairspray and Upstaged.
Okay, so you're beginning and ending. Everybody, Hairspray ships a little slower, so don't panic. It's coming. We just have to ship it ground because Hairspray is in an aerosol can. So it just takes a little bit longer when we have aerosol spray in it.
Right.
But we're sending it. Okay, so what do we do?
Okay, first winner of the Hairspray and Upstaged is Courtney Groom Flood.
Okay. Courtney, congratulations.
And then the second winner, Amanda Renee Haggerty.
Okay.
Third winner of Hairspray and Upstaged, Cassandra Craigie.
Congratulations.
And the fourth winner of the Upstaged and Hairspray, Emily Clancy.
Yep, congratulations. So all of you that are winners so far, make sure you send us your email and your mailing address. That's it.
Email address and mailing address.
Okay, perfect. I actually got it. I always forget it for some reason. All right.
Okay, and the iron winner is Allie Carter.
Hold on, I gotta switch. Okay, so Allie Carter, you are the winner of the iron today. So congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this live. Next week, we're live from Aspen, where I'm so excited to go. It's gonna be so fun. And it'll be Tammy and I. Oh, I bet you know who will be there too. Can anyone guess who might be in Aspen with me? Kenny. Oh, Kenny used to be Tenny, but now he's from Arizona. So we're excited to have Kendrick on next week. I wonder if we'll be able to get Kiera in the mix too. We'll see. Tammy will be there. Kiera will be there. Kendrick will be there. Who else will be there that day? I think that's it. Exciting stuff. We're excited to go to Live in Aspen. We'll see you next week. Bye. I love the